Hello fellows, we are back with another video, and as you can see, the playoffs are set. The Mavs are in the 1 spot out west, with the Jazz in the 2 spot, the Lakers in the 3 spot. We'll take a quick look at the play-in matchups. Looks like Warriors, Sonics, and then Kings versus Outlaws in the 9-10. In the East, the Magic are the 1 spot. We have Hornets, Hawks as the 7-8, and then Pistons, Celtics as the 9-10. Cavs are in the 2 spot, Bulls 3 spot, obviously. We'll take a look really quickly at the final standings. We're going to have a lot to show in this video. The Magic finished with the best record in the league and the best point differential. Obviously, they have Zion and Donovan Mitchell. The Cavs finished in the 2 spot. They had to start Jared Vanderbilt due to a random event, but that didn't seem to affect them too much. The Bulls finished in the 3 spot. They recently acquired Brandon Ingram. The Nets finished in the 4 spot, so another solid season from the Nets. That being said, it looks like there was only, what is this, 5 teams, if you count the Sixers, who had a positive differential in the East. So the East is really not that competitive. It's kind of open right now to any team that decides, hey, we want to go for it and compete. They have a chance. But anyways, the Knicks finished 5, Sixers 6, Hornets 7, Hawks 8, then Pistons, Celtics, Wizards, Pacers, Raptors, Heat, and the Bucks at 15 and 67. Out west, 16 and 66 were the Thunder, so the Bucks did have the worst record in the league. The Mavs finished in the 1 spot out west, with Scoot being hurt all season, which is pretty impressive if I do say so myself. The reigning champion Jazz, with Monte Day and Luka Doncic, as well as Garrison Moss, finished 2nd. The Lakers, under new management, finished 3rd. I don't know if they've made really any changes ever since Meat took over, but 3rd they are. The Portland Trailblazers finished 4th with Tatum and Giddey. They're going to run it back for another year in the playoffs. We'll see how it goes for them. And then Houston finished 5th. They have probably the best starting lineup, just in terms of overall in the league. 6th spot was Phoenix, followed by the Warriors and Sonics, then the Kings, Outlaws, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Spurs, Wolves, and Thunder. I'll never understand, man. I'll never understand. Why is this not a better team? Explain it to me. It has 97 Wemby. They have Miles Turner. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But maybe someone can explain that to me and to Mamba, because I'm sure we're both interested in knowing. I don't think I can show draft picks right now, but that's not that big of a deal considering people can't trade. I'll show cap tables just so that people can see what team options they have when it comes time for the off season. Some people might want to decline certain team options, and so this will give you a final look of who's on your roster and how much money everyone's making when it comes to that. The Cavs are well over the hard cap currently, like $10 million over, so they're not going to have a lot of flexibility. But hopefully they can get a ring to show for it pretty soon. I know they've lost in the finals 2 years in a row to the Western Conference team, and I'm sure they're looking to run it back this year at the playoff stream tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Personally, I'd probably favor the Magic to come out of the East this year. I think they have a good enough point differential over everyone else, and the best point differential team has come out of the East the last couple of years, I think. It's been the Cavs both times, but we'll see. It's heavily dependent on luck and playoff rotations and just a bunch of different things, because you could end up losing a couple games by a point or 2, and there goes your season. So it's always a lot to do with luck. A lot of team options there at the bottom for the Knicks. The Lakers with no team options, it looks like, for them to worry about this offseason. Clint Capella has a player option for the Magic. We'll see if he accepts that or not. Looks like a couple there for the Mavs. The Nets with a few team options. Nuggets with Jones and Wright, Foreman, and Cole as theirs. A few for the Pacers. I know people just love offering team options in the offseason during free agency. Especially once we get to the second period, literally every contract just has a team option, so. The Raptors with 30 million in space and a few team options to make decisions on, so they could potentially even end up with a little bit more space. The Rockets are 61 over, have a bunch of guys on vet minimums, as well as Porzingis and Butler coming off their books. So there's going to be some change ups there. The Spurs with 63. The Suns 72 over the cap. They have a few team options. Colin Freeman is the biggest one, which I'm sure they're going to pick up. The Thunder, who have the second worst record in the league. The Wolves, who I believe were 14th in the West, so they're hoping for a top lottery pick. The Blazers are spending the most money in the league, and they pretty much have everyone under contract next year as well. So if they want, they could just run it back again and not really make any moves. Although they may want to mix it up. We'll see what Lockmore does. The Wizards with a few guys on vet minimums. Can we take a look? Okay, we can. So these are the upcoming free agents. Jalen Green, that's actually a fairly big one, as well as De'Aaron Fox, I think will both be unrestricted. So this is going to be one of the better free agent classes we've had. Porzingis will also be unrestricted, as will Jimmy Butler and Jared Allen. So that's big. And Hendricks. Kyrie Herter, Davion Mitchell, who's in 87. Some of these guys are player options or team options or restricted. Like we know Clint Capella is a player option. But this is looking like it could be a really promising free agency class overall. So we'll see those teams with a lot of money might be in for a treat. Let me take a look at the awards next. I know they were posted in the Discord, but we will still show them here. Zion won MVP. Bimbo Harper of the Grizzlies won Rookie of the Year. He shot it decently well from the field for a rookie, but not well from three. Sixth man was Jermaine Terrell for the Spurs, who averaged 20 a game off the bench. That's very impressive. Wemby won Defensive Player of the Year with 1.3 steals and 1.9 blocks. Most improved was Dino Petrovic of the Hawks. And clutch player was Jalen Green of the Nets. Magic was coach and executive, but that doesn't really matter. They usually just give that to best record. We'll check the all teams. Zion, Wemby, Luka, Ja, and LaMelo were first team. Moss, SGA, Chet, Jokic, and Giannis. Tatum, Şengün, Amen, Giddey, and Garland. And then all defense here. Brandon Miller, all second team, and Jason Tatum. That's interesting. I'm surprised Bilal wasn't first team defense as well. There we go. Now let's look at who finished in league leaders. So Ben Simmons was the worst scorer. Zion finished at 28.3 points per game. Wemby finished second. Jalen Green finished third. Then Moss, Keontae George, who's only an 84 overall, but he's putting up 25 a game for Memphis. SGA, Morant, Nick Smith Jr. for the Outlaws, also playing really well. Then LaMelo and Donovan Mitchell to round out the top 10. For rebounds, Greg Day of the Knicks led the way at 13.5 rebounds, which is extremely impressive. My Mavs front court of Duren and Chet grabbing a lot of rebounds. LaMelo finished with 10.2 assists. Garland got above 10 for second place. For steals, Brandon Miller, which I guess is why he's defensive team. Chet blocks, edging out Claxton. SGA turnovers, Şengün fouls, Duren the GOAT, field goal percentage, blew everyone out of the water, 70%. And Corey Kispert, Taylor Hendricks, Julian Strother, Ben Shepherd of the Thunder, Isaac Chase, Pod, Kobe Buffkin, Nick Smith, Dariq Whitehead, Donovan Mitchell, all some of the league's leading three-point shooters. Let me show, I guess I'll show player stats for all the teams again. I should have healed all the injuries as well. I just say that seeing Lauren Barnes, who I healed. If I missed any injuries and you catch them, let me know. We don't want to make any mistakes for the playoffs. We want to have everything fixed and correct if possible. I don't know if there's anything else I need to show after these stats. I could go through I could do something interesting and show some advanced stats or something. And just see if people care about that sort of thing. Although if I show advanced stats, it'll just be crooning, poring over the video in detail while no one else ever looks at it. We're at a 13-minute video. Okay. Power rankings, huh? Let me see. What's analytics tool? I'm not gonna mess with that. Look at some team stats, I guess. Points per game, the Mavs finished in first despite Scoot Henderson being hurt, which is, in my opinion, a good sign for me. Points allowed per game, the Lakers had the best defense, barely edging out the Magic. Differential was obviously the Magic. Field goals made, Mavs. Field goals attempted, Nets. Percentage was the Magic. 3-point percentage was the Mavs. I know they had some top-tier 3-point shooters like Whitehead and Strother. Worst was the Bucks. We'll scroll over to this section, sort by assists. Houston was number 1. I think that's all I'm going to end up showing. Prospect scouting here. That was a sneak peek. Those are probably inaccurate. Just keep that in mind. if you actually saw that. That's, even though it shows players overall, it's still based on the scout, so it could still be inaccurate. But yeah, I think that is it for this video. We will have the playoff stream tomorrow night, and so everyone get your playoff rotations in by then. This is going to be a pretty sick year for the playoffs. I really don't have any clue who's going to win the title. I think it's up in the air between like the Cavs, the Bulls, the Magic, the Jazz, and then like 5 teams in the West, like Jazz, Mavericks, Blazers, Rockets, Lakers, Suns. Really, any of these 6 teams I think could all win the title out West. Maybe even like the Warriors could make a run at it or something. So we'll see what happens. Tune into the playoff stream tomorrow, and good luck to everyone. Bye-bye.